Come on in, Blazers fan. If you're watching that Pete McDivitt show, come on over.
It's a good point. I think one of the things we saw was him getting out front, trying to be a little quicker when we started seeing those fly balls, which is not his game. Couple of bounces here to Lindor. So he strikes tonight 0 for 1. That was Allen's third 3-hit game of the season yesterday. It really helped Atlanta in that 7-4 victory.
Yeah, 7-4 victory.
And now the home run derby participant, Ronald Acuna Jr., who struck out swinging in the first. Ronald also stole his 200th base of his career in this series, and that is the most in Atlanta Braves history. Not all-time Braves history, but since the team moved to Atlanta in '66. 200 stolen bases, Ronald the first to get there.
Ball inside. Coming. No Bulls, so I'm watching the Milwaukee Braves. If any of you know who the Milwaukee Braves are, then you kind of know what team I'm talking.
Back when Holmes was a reliever, he had 10 relief appearances against Atlanta all time. Now his second start against the Braves. And he gives the free pass up to Ronald Acuna Jr. One walk in each inning so far for Clay Holmes. He seems to have a hard time on the righties landing that two-seam fastball on the arm side there where he's trying to run it in. Those misses have been pretty big.
Yeah.
Ronald Acuna has now reached 21 straight games. This guy, Matt Olson, with his walk in the first, that bumps his streak up to 26. Pretty impressive to see two Braves at the top of that list.
And it kind of goes hand in hand in what we've been seeing with the offense, especially for both of those guys. The month of June has been excellent for them. A big part of what's happening here. And we may have underestimated how important it was to get Ronald back in this lineup if there was such a thing.
I think, CJ, the results so far of hitting Matt Olson second, it's provided a little boost.
I like it. Give you two best hitters right now that are batting 1 and 2. They're going to get the most at-bats in the game, and why not? Even though he hasn't caught very much, the Singer behind the plate, he's got a good arm.
Yeah.
For him, 89 miles an hour, that's a big number. He's thrown out 3 of 5 so far.
And Terren's caught the last 2 nights, and with the excessive heat, they wanted to give him a break today. So Singer back there for Game 3 of the series.
Singer back there for Game 3 of the
series. Matt Olson to left field.
Left field.
Nemo a few steps back into his right. And now Ozuna, who got robbed at the left center field wall back in the first inning by McNeil. Line drive foul, 0-2.
And foul,
Mendoza
2.
talked about yesterday after the game is how they haven't been getting much length from their starters in this stretch where they've lost 10 of 11. Starters have only hit the 5-inning mark once in those 11 games, and he's hoping for a little length tonight for Clay Holmes. That's his 49th pitch.
49.
A lot of shuffling in the
pitch.
bullpen, more moves today for the New York Mets. 2 guys out, 2 in. They're just trying to find the right combination. So for Carlos Mendoza, you prefer not to pick up that phone too early, but the Rays have done a good job so far on this pitch count.
And with the 3 walks, and again 6 walks last time for Holmes against Atlanta at Truist Park.
The ball that Marcel hit was one of those 4-seamers. Again, he doesn't throw it very often. Excuse me, I don't think he would get another one in the zone after he nearly hit a home run.
Oh, thank you, Kenneth.
Obviously misses with the sweeper up. We have also seen the biggest misses arm side 2-seamer and sweeper up above.
Now he's got a 2-2 count with 2 away here.
Yeah, I agree. I gotta update that too.
So Ronald can be
That's-
on the move over there at first base.
I think I updated all of them, but evidently I.
Ozuna already 5 walks in the series, could be in line for a 6th.
Hang on.
Instead, it's a grounder towards Lindor.
Grounded towards Lindor.
No score on our way to the bottom of the 3rd.
How do you achieve the ultimate shopping experience? Choose a Cup Cadet dealership. Discover a wide range of Cup Cadet motors, parts, accessories, and other advantages you can only find at your local dealer. Experience a Cup Cadet dealership with you for every part of the ride. There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard. Get the free to save. Get 4250 cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, 2250 in trade assistance when you trade in an outdoor vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP.
To everyone who finds joy in a great meal, we can't wait to see you again at Culver's.
What makes us happy is making you happy. We want every meal, every meal, every meal.
You know, if you live in the Midwest, you wish Mother Nature wouldn't come down as much. But on the other hand, it's good grass corn and cornball.
When you think about it, I'll be there when you wake up. The trips the world takes are trips home. It's the feeling they all eventually long to get back to. No matter what took us away to begin with, we know because at Delta we're travelers, just like you. Which is why we try to make you feel at home long before you think it.
Scoreless so far, game 3 of the series. Look at our exciting game changer feature. So Westhead becomes the 4th Braves pitcher aged 20 or younger to throw against the Mets going back to 1990.
Yep.
Avery, Tehran, and Soroka, the others to do it.
Pretty impressive group there. Certainly impressive what we've seen here from Fuentes to do it at his age. And yet you mentioned it's just turning 28 days ago.
And when he had that start against the Marlins, and Wiley reported on this, when he was the youngest Braves pitcher to make a start since Mike McQueen way back in 1970. So pretty rare air. He deals that 4-seamer upstairs to Mauricio.
I said this first game when we saw a guy like Mauricio, thinking about his size and playing second base, there's only been one second baseman that's played at least 200 games at second, listed at 6'4" or higher, which is where he's at, 6'4". And for relatively recent, give you a while an opportunity to marinate that on that for a while. But only one second baseman, 6'4". What do you type it?
No, I want to type this guy's name because I don't think he's that tall, but I want to make sure. Oh boy, deep to right field, Acuna back. Mauricio puts the Mets on top. It's the third inning.
Damn. Wrong team.
.96-mile-an-hour fastball. We talk about where it plays best. Elevated at his inner third, probably belt high for Mauricio again, who is a big guy. But you want to strike there, so you're not trying to be too careful. He was just ready for it and got it started early.
We talked about the power with Ronnie Mauricio. Even though he's a young player, hasn't had a lot of big league time. He hit a 456-foot homer back on June 7th, just his fourth game of the season, and he showcases some of that power there to put the Mets on top.
Yep.
And now Hayden, he's 28 years old, but this
and
is his 11th
fixes.
big league start behind the plate tonight for the New York Mets. Ooh, 97 just missed.
It's a call you'd like to get. Good movement on it, came back, and it looked like it caught the corner. That would be an ABS strike.
But he will get Singer here. So there's your first down in the third.
There's your first out.
Quick message from Delta.
From Braves Country to the world. Delta, official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
I'm guessing your research came a little flat. Were you thinking DJ LeMahieu?
I did type it.
Yeah, he's 6'3". He's the tiny inch.
I also typed in Alfonso Soriano, but he was only 6'2". All right, so who do you got?
So the only second baseman listed at 6'4" to play at least 200 games at second base in the major leagues is Matt Carpenter. That's what makes you wonder, look, if we get a big guy, is that going to be his position? First, he has to show that he can hit consistently for Mauricio at the big league level. We'll see whether or not second base ends up being his spot.
Yeah, they've used him at short, at third, also out in left field as well. But the bat plays, or at least that's what the scouting report was for Mauricio when they brought him up. And tonight it's given the Mets the early lead. Full count 3-2. And in that first start that Fuentes had in Miami, the homer he
Yeah.
caught was a big one because it had two guys on. It was a 3-run homer by Ramirez in the third inning,
Yeah.
and the Braves never really recovered, couldn't get the bats going, and lost that game 6-2. But tonight it was just
1-0.
homer by Mauricio to put the Mets on top 1-0.
Mauricio homered.
Flies out the center.
I'm curious for Fuentes. So you saw him in shape right there. It might have been a fake shape.
And Doe flies out.
Something else. In a 3-2 count, obviously we're only a few innings into his big league career, but he has been in a 3-2 count. He has only thrown fastballs, 100% fastball usage. Is that enough of a trend through just this few amount of innings? Probably not, but at some point you are going to have to be able to throw something else in a 3-2 count.
Yeah.
Nimmo lifts this out towards Verdugo. Allen also there. And Verdugo calls off the shortstop and sends us to the fourth inning.
Some dreams are pure fantasy. Others feel familiar.
Brandon Nimio flies out to left to Alex Verdugo. If you're brand new here, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button looks like this. And then hit that subscribe button that's down below, would you? We got 260 subs.
When I was 7, I started my first business, which taught me to. Then when I was 10 years old, I fell in love with making content. And then there was basketball. When I approached my basketball career, my content was the same. If I put reps in every single day, I would succeed one way or another. However, I was faced with my height being a major factor in my future of basketball. So early on, I started taking True Ed. After I started seeing more physical growth, True Ed became a driving force behind my confidence on and off the court. True Ed is for those who just need to show up and believe in their own dreams like I do.
To everyone who finds joy in a great meal, we can't wait to see you again at Culver's.
What makes us happy is making you happy. We want every meal to be filled with big bite moments.
Like the spoon moments.
And
Yeah.
even eat your hands off my cheese curds moments.
They're just too good to share. From the
Yeah.
juiciest bites.
Yeah.
to the sweetest
Yeah.
We're all about bringing people together over delicious
Silly.
food.
I'm gonna put that in the podcast series so people can find it.
I'll be home in the morning.
At Delta, we get where you're coming from. After all, we're travelers, just like you.
Dun.
Baseball is presented by Truist.
Presented by Truist.
Concourse at Citii Field. And Austin Riley is due up here to begin the fourth inning in a 1-0 ball game. What clouds have we had the last couple of nights? And it was spitting rain around first pitch, but went away quickly. As Holmes goes back to work.
And we're talking about that first night where the sky was so ominous and it just looked so cloudy and thick and kind of hit us thick. We were thinking about those airplanes and I thought they were further away. Once it cleared up, they're still pretty close.
Yeah, they are. And throws across Lindor to get Riley. Yeah, Shea stated you could always pretty much guarantee that you would see those planes very close to above the left field seats as they took off and landed from LaGuardia nearby. And depending on the pattern in which runway is open, you definitely see them here at Citii Field as well.
Yeah, you just don't have as much of a view because of the bigger up the deck in left field, big scoreboard. And in our view, we're actually kind of where we were on the broadcast, we can't see up as much because of the level above us kind of blocks our view. So it just seems like there's less planes there.
Yeah.
Shea was the home of the Mets from 1964 to 2008. Now, before that, they did play their first two seasons at the Polo Grounds. And that was actually the inspiration for them making the seats here at Citii Field green. That is in homage to the Polo Grounds for those couple of years. Of course, such a historic ballpark way back in the day. And this venue opened in 2009.
Yeah.
Drake Baldwin gives it
Drake Baldwin gives it a ride. McNeil.
With a solo shot to center field. feet. CJ and I were talking about how the ball has not been carrying much here at Citii Field, but Drake got all of that one.
He sure did. That is a big number for Drake Baldwin. You can see this pitch, little slider. He fouled the previous one off. That's a good pitch. He went down and got it and squared it up and absolutely smoked it.
Yeah, he did.
I was worried that guy was going to go over that ledge out there, but thankfully he did not. Got his souvenir. all smiles out
I
there.
mean, are they talking about it right now? Like I was thinking about it. The end of your night here at the ballpark.
Did not throw that one back. They attempted to throw the fan who caught Acuna's ball the other night back. And he faked the throw and kept the baseball and got some moves.
Ozzy.
Out to right field in front of Soto. So a walk in the second for Ozzy. Now single here in the fourth. A couple more looks at the Drake Baldwin Soto blast.
Again, impressive. Watch this pitch. Look at the location. Pretty good location, probably below the zone. It didn't necessarily have the horizontal that he wanted, but it's still going straight down. And not easy to square up, and a no-doubter for Baldwin.
You're right with how far he had to extend, how low that was. It's one thing to barely scrape that over the right field wall or something, but to hit that to center, 433 feet, that's impressive.
Think about how far Marcel's ball didn't go. He looked like he clobbered it. Humidity. What was the dome? The heat dome?
The heat dome,
Yeah, not a problem.
thankfully is vacating tonight. The heat dome can go out over the Atlantic and sink. Ozzy was telling me before the game, he said at one point in about the 6th or 7th inning yesterday when the game was kind of dragging, it was so hot, he looked over at Matt and basically said, I don't think I've ever been this hot on a baseball field before.
And those are big words coming from a guy who's played his career in the Atlanta Georgia.
Yeah. I was asking Ozzy also about Curacao, where he grew up, but he said you got so much breeze there that you didn't get a lot of miserable, humid days. He said, I grew up and I was on the water all the time. We just didn't think about the temperature. But now that he said the humidity in the southern part, now the northeast of the states, feels much hotter to him. That's foul. Alonso takes it in foul territory. But I still think about what you said, CJ, when you were pitching in the minors in New Orleans. That has to be the ultimate definition of hot.
As a starter, I would give myself a full 10 minutes after I was done warming up, get gold cool down, make sure you get 5 temperature right before you head back out.
And a lot of ice on your head.
Clubhouse time, that's what I've been a little bit surprised seeing the guys for the most part of staying in the dugout. And you mentioned it too, what they have as far as keeping players cool in the dugout has come a long way as well. They got in, got a clubhouse a little bit.
The first game of the series, the Braves and Mets took batting practice out there on the field. This is the Braves' first time here this year. You want to get adjusted. But yesterday and today, it was all hitting in the cage just because it was too hot out there for both sides.
Yeah.
Beatty over into foul ground. And Verdugo is 0 for 2. A quick message from Alpha Insurance.
No matter what life throws your way, we'll be there knocking it out of the park. Getting you back home safe and sound. That's life with Alpha Insurance.
Michael grounds it to Mauricio. But the Braves tie this thing thanks to the rookie Drake Baldwin. Long homer to center.
Fun to watch the Drake. We love the Drake. And impressive here as he goes down and gets that batter and smashes it near the Big Apple.
Lots of toys. Check. Happy dog. Check. Fresh water. Check. Wagging tail. Check. Favorite toy? Check.
We provide a safe and secure experience for your dog whenever you have to be away. Choose between our clubhouse, fairway suite, eco studio, or cat and other small pet boarding options. All of our members get 5% off. Possum Pets Country Club in Holman, 608-284-8606.
I was like on a baseball. He was good, but he was bored. He wasn't happy. He was in his baseball outfit. He's like, look at me. This is okay. I'm a basketball player.
My goal is to be in the NBA because those players get paid to do what they love. So I'm just going to keep working.
When it comes to nutrients and unlocking the greatest capabilities that they have, I'm doing it with your type.
I got one for you, boss.
Oh, yeah?
It's black, white, and dented all over.
Huh.
I give up.
Old Chuck.
Yeah, it's bad.
But thanks to our agent, we've already submitted the claim and can track the status right from the app. Auto owners pay what they owe without any hassle.
Lucky for you. That's simple human sense.
Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
When you think about it,
Are you coming home?
I'll be there when you wake up. Half the trips the world takes are trips home. It's the feeling we all eventually long to get back to.
Pair of solo homers, and we are tied at the bottom of the fourth. They join the Nashville Predators for a party like no other this Friday, Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. It's the NHL draft party. Hang on.
Hang on.
Right center. And a solo homer.
Soto, homer.
And the Mets are back in front.
First pitch fastball, 94 miles an hour. It's on the outside corner and somewhat elevated. But Juan Soto got a good look at the heater in his first at bat. He was looking for a first one that he saw in the zone. He felt that.
Second homer of the series, 18th of the season for Juan Soto. First two games of the series, both sides really the ball stayed in the yard. But
Yeah.
tonight, all three runs. Via the homer. Pete Alonso fouls away the fastball. .95, did that clip him? Yes, it did.
Good time for Trey Paulson to go ahead and walk out there. Walt White's on the phone to make sure that this did hit Pete Alonso. Barely. I think it got.
Just off that forearm. So Alonso has reached twice, and now Jeff McNeil, the first ball went out to talk to Fuentes.
Ghazi coming in just to make sure translation, everything goes well as far as the message that is being delivered.
Now, Fuentes does not speak much English, from Colombia. Remember, he's only been in the States a couple of years, brief stint in the minors, and now here in the bigs at age 20. His dad, Ramon, who rushed from Colombia to get to Miami to see him pitch in that game, and it was the first time his dad had seen him pitch in America since he became a professional, is back home tonight watching in Colombia. McNeil shows bunt, takes it back.
Yeah.
Liner, left field. And it gets hit. Bounces to the wall. Alonso is held at third.
Alonso's held at third.
Fuentes struck him out last time on a fastball away. This one catches a lot more of the plate. And Jeff McNeil, such a good contact hitter, not trying to get full happy, goes the other way.
So the fourth inning, a little shaky. The homer, the hit batter, the double. Braves for the infield creeping in here as Marte takes a sweeper.
And they give themselves a little bit more room, essentially, by playing halfway with Pete Alonso over at third base. Does not run particularly well, and where Austin Riley is right now is close enough where he can't get a big lead. So you give yourself a couple of extra steps to cover more ground.
Sharp liner out to Harris.
Sharp on line on up to Harris.
Third. Both guys tag. 3-1 Mets.
A couple balls hit hard so far, and everything, including the hit by pitch, every plate appearance has ended with a fastball. So they're getting on that heater a little bit more now, second time around.
So one down, the infield fully in now here for Beatty at the plate. And Beatty, awkward swing at the sweeper.
Helps him out because that's what's going to get guys off your fastball, is showing that you can throw your breaking ball for strikes. Got one out of the zone, but Beatty bails you out by offering it.
Yeah. 3-1. Atlanta. I mean, but
Do it again, or elevate out of the zone. You don't want any fastball that's close to the strike zone right now if you go with the heater.
Just the one strikeout tonight for Fuentes. Ground ball through the right side. Went with a curveball. And Beatty pushes it through to get another run home.
Now he shows you that he is in swing mode. And this is a mistake, and you can see it kind of pop up first out of the hand of Fuentes, and it finishes in the zone. You get a guy that's swinging 2 below the zone, you want to go another one for him to throw that pitch.
For the second time through the order, the Mets getting to Didier Fuentes. And now here's the guy who started the offense tonight for New York, Ronnie Mauricio.
Count.
Third baseman Mark Vientos for the Mets has been out with a strained right hamstring. They expect him back in the next 2 days. This could be the guy that gets option, but he's making a case to stay here. At least he did with that swing back in the third inning. Another hit for Mauricio. Beatty will stop at second. Now they're getting some pretty good swings up there right now.
They are this one against a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And it was in the same location which he just got the swing and miss, but it wasn't intentional. Watch Drake reach back across. They want that ball away. Your friend now going to come out and give Fuentes a little bit of a break.
So what you're seeing here in this inning more about mislocation than the actual stuff from Fuentes?
I think so. I mean, listen, the baby breaking ball, you want it to be down. Juan Soto comes out and kind of ambushes you right away looking for a first pitch fastball. You got one that barely got away from you with the hit by pitch to Pete Alonso, but he was behind in the count. The thing that I still find a little bit surprising is that we have not seen that split. Right, it's in the arsenal. He starts to grip with it every time. We've only seen one so far between these two starts. And when guys start getting on your heater, you'd like to be able to show something else besides just the two breaking balls, especially to the left-handed hitter.
Well, that visit also buys a little time for Aaron Bummer. Bottom of the order, it's Singer. Baldwin comes back, but runs out of real estate. Through the left side, Singer with a single. Beatty held at third. One out, and the Mets have them loaded, and now you're going back to the top of the order to face Francisco Lindor.
You see the breaking ball there. Maybe not enough sweep on that one. Again, it's his slider, but shows up as a sweeper. I want that just a little bit further away. Not on a break in that pitch.
And that's going to be it. Just two times through the order for Fuentes, and unfortunately runs into some trouble here in the fourth. And Aaron Bummer will be next for Atlanta.
Pitching change.
I'm so lost.
Yeah, that was co-pilot.
AI that with a Copilot Plus PC from Best Buy. Oh, I thought we were going to recreate that photo.
Couldn't find it. Yeah, that was co-pilot. Oh.
AI that with a Copilot Plus PC from Best Buy.
From no-drill mud flaps and water-repellent seat protectors to our laser-measured floor liners, WeatherTech has everything you need. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com, the ultimate protection for your vehicle.
They are into it at Citii Field right now. Base is loaded up 4-1. Let's take a look, though, as the Braves bullpen comes on here at our strong arm, brought to you by John Point Associates. Through these 5 games, this is the 6th, CJ. The Braves pen been really good against the Mets.
Yeah, they have been on point. They have done it all. The opponent's batting average, the lack of walks, the high strikeouts in the 12th and the 3rd inning so far. And so Aaron Bummer's going to be asked to continue what has been a really good run against the New York Mets for this bullpen so far. This will be now 6th game. But for Bummer this year, you see the strikeout rate sitting at 24%. He is in here right now to get a ground ball that hopefully the Braves can turn into a double play, at least get an out and keep the baseball on the ground. He does it well with a 57% ground ball rate. And those best pitches, really all of them for the most part. The two-seam fastball, it's a 67% ground ball rate. The sweeper at 60%, and even his curveball at 53%. All of those well above league average.
Yeah. Pitching change. Aaron Boone replaces the starter. Here comes Lindor.
Yesterday, the Braves came back from down 3, scored the next 7. They're down 3 right now, but the Mets looking to add to it. And the curveball fouled off. Brian Snicker checking in on Didier Fuentes. Again, not much English, but just wants to give him a little pat on the back. Oh, and 2. Softly out to left. Verdugo takes it. Beatty comes home. And now 5-1 New York.
5-1 New York.
And Brandon Nimmo becomes the 9th New York Met to bat here in the home half of the 4th inning. Runners at the corners, 0-1. That lands in there. No balls, 2 strikes.
So it was 0-2 against Lindor. The pitch was good, okay, but probably a little bit better outside of the zone to try to get swing and miss. You certainly want to do that here against Nimmo.
Up the middle. RBI single for Nimmo. The Mets have batted around.
Mets have batted around.
Big bottom of the 4th for New York. They've scored 5 times in this frame.
You want this one further away. It's not a bad pitch. You can see it's probably just off the plate, but you got a lot of room to work with and try to get it out even further. That's the curveball that you get from Aaron Rodgers.
And now the guy who started all this mess, Juan Soto, hit a homer to right center earlier this inning.
O's.
A ball and 2 strikes here. Bummer is going to turn around and check second base. Bouncer is going to stay fair, will not. Another chance for Juan Soto, who talked about Didier Fuentes debuting just after turning 20. Remember back when Soto debuted, he was just 19 back in 2018, and he finished second to Ronald Acuna Jr. yet that year for the National League Rookie of the Year award.
Yeah.
Those 2 guys well into their star-studded careers, sharing the field again tonight. 1-2 pitch, and another foul ball.
It's a good one there, that sinker in. The one thing with Juan Soto, it's tough to get in the chase. We saw Dylan Lee do it the other night in the 3-2 count with a really good slider. It's a different kind of breaking ball. These are going to be a little bit more horizontal, where Dylan Lee's going to get you more of that kind of vertical. That's where you can get maybe some of that chase. The wide ones, though, can be tough. You're shooting corners here this far ahead in the count.
And he caught the inside corner there. Soto again complaining, this time with James G, but the Mets put up 5 here in the fourth.
And that's why I never drive those guys.
Party's over, big guy. We're tired of hearing, I don't want to get my truck dirty.
With WeatherTech laser measured floor liners front and rear, a seat protector, and full bed protection, trucks are totally covered.
You just got WeatherTech. Yeah, buddy. Let's get dirty.
Order your premium American-made products at WT.com.
A diagnosis doesn't define you.
Yeah.
ATTR cardiac amyloidosis. You've come a long way. Your path was never set in stone. You charged ahead. So why would life with ATTR-CM define you? You have the power of choice. Attruby is an oral medicine used to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization related to heart problems. People taking Attruby saw an impact on health-related quality of life and were 50% less likely to be hospitalized for heart issues, giving you more chances to do what you love with who you love. Tell your doctor if you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding, and about the medications you take. The most common side effects were mild and included diarrhea and abdominal pain. If you have ATTR cardiac amyloidosis, ask your cardiologist if Attruby is right for you. It's time to get busy living.
Are you coming home? I'll be home in the morning.
At Delta, we get where you're coming from. After all, we're travelers, just like you.
5 runs on 6 hits there for the Mets in the 4th inning for the Braves. Some work to do here. Remember, they came from behind last night. See what they can do as we go to the 5th 9-1-2 schedule, starting with Nick Allen.
9-1-2.
32-year-old played home so far. He's given up the homer to Baldwin. But that's been it for Atlanta. Playing even with a bag, Beatty makes the play. Ronald's coming up, so that leads us to our truest leaderboard. Ronald walked in the 3rd. If he reaches once more, this will go up to 15, but these are the longest streaks, reaching base multiple times in a game. And Ronald, the longest since Deion Sanders back in 94.
And that strike season, pretty amazing group of names right there. Great football coach and a couple of awesome baseball players. Not that Deion wasn't a great baseball player, but obviously he's done quite a few things in his career. But that's an impressive list. Certainly, and it means something, right? The idea of him getting on multiple times, having the streak, he's been locked in.
You know, when he's not getting a hit, he's drawing a walk. Here's the bottom right of your screen. Last 14 games, hitting .479. On base over 600. But I would not have guessed, if you had given me a lot of guesses, I would not have said that Deion Sanders was the only Atlanta Brave to be on that list with Ronald. With all the great hitters that have come through over the years. Chipper did it 13 times in a row, and Ronald went past him last night. So it's back in 04.
Wow.
Ronald fouls off the slider. Still 3-2.
Still 3-2.
Not see from stuff that we're seeing here from Clay Holmes. He's got a big lead, 5-run lead, and he's throwing a 3-2 slider. He did not want to double up with the fastball for Ronald, who has crushed fastballs for the two-seamer since he's been back.
kind of talked about it there with both Bummer and Fuentes. A couple of mistakes went ahead in a count.
3 times that Braves pitchers had 0-2 counts that the New York Mets were able to put the ball in play. A line out that we saw from Lindor and a couple of bases.
And Ronald extends that streak to now 15 consecutive games where he's reached multiple times.
That's going to drive Mendoza crazy over there, right? Because the walks have been such an issue. Your team spots you a lead, and using all of his pitches, trying to get it, Ronald's locked in, but you go right at even the greatest hitters. When you have this big lead, the walks have been such an issue, and your pitch count is climbing up.
Now remember the 9 walks yesterday for Mets pitching. They also had 9 walks against Atlanta and Truist Park, so it has been a big issue for these hurlers.
Yeah.
Clay Holmes is getting up there a bit. This will be pitch number 85. As we noted earlier, he did throw 104 last time against the Braves.
That's now, 10 walks for him in his 2 starts against the Braves. That is over 9 innings combined.
And otherwise, his walk rate really isn't that bad. A tick above the average. He's a guy who grew up in Braves country, Slocum, Alabama. Small town of over 2,000, southern part of the state. Just over a 3-hour drive from Atlanta. But he did not grow up a Braves fan. He was actually a Yankees fan as a kid because when he was playing for the Yankees as a youth, his dad wrote a letter to Yankee Stadium and said, "Hey, my son is on the Yankees. I'm the coach. Please send us some gear." And they sent him a bunch of World Series hats.
No way.
Gave him to all the kids, and he started to become a Yankees fan because of that. Took him away from his Braves fandom at 8 years old.
So that's what, mid to late 90s, honestly, probably when that happened. Could have wrote the Braves a letter.
That's brought up in Alabama as a Yankee fan, right? That is definitely Braves country. The heart of it.
Yeah, that is definitely the heart of it.
Center, and putting it on a bounce, McNeil. Thought he might go after it, but he did not. And now the Braves trying to make some noise here in the 5th.
Well, it is fun watching these guys 1-2 with Matt Olson and Ronald Acuna Jr. 3 walks and a base hit and 6 plate appearances for that tonight. That's the right choice. I don't think you got close to that ball, you make a mistake and dive for it, and now you got to leave second and third and not worse.
We certainly don't need 5 here, CJ, but the way that the Mets are so hungry for a win and this crowd feels very amped tonight, just to get something back here to start to chip away, I think would be a really big deal.
300%. They're feeling the pressure, even though they have this nice 5-run lead right now. The way things have gone for them, not been particularly good. Now you got to worry about Marcell. And again, your 2-seam fastball is your best pitch, and Marcell this year is hitting 367 against sinkers from righties. So I think after we saw the 4-seamer, he hit hard, and we saw a lot of the off-speed stuff in the last half. We'll probably see the same here.
You mentioned they recalled a couple relievers today, and one of them is throwing now with Brandon Waddell. As Holmes hits 90 pitches. Buried in the ground at third. Ronald got in front of it, but Beatty's still able to make the play.
Well, it was a sinker, and Marcell saw a couple of them in this at-bat, and that could have been part of the conversation of giving Clay Holmes the confidence to be able to use that pitch, even though it's been a good one that Marcell has done damage against.
You got Riley here, I would think, with Baldwin on deck. This is probably Clay Holmes' last hitter.
Yeah.
And he deals a strike, does Holmes. Austin did not like that call from James G. Oh, 2. And Riley fouls it away.
He did not like that one.
Cunha down at third, Olsen at second as the Braves trying to answer that 5-run fourth. Riley still down here in the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
Still down in the count.
You can see the work that Austin has done right there with runners in scoring position. He's been excellent. That 325 batting average.
27 driven in.
27 driven in.
But it doesn't look like he's going to add to it. Lindor, strong throw to get him by a step.
Hey, Kenneth, I'll be right back. I'm going to go take a quick shower.
Specifically yours.
But
now there's this Orkin crow. I'm smart enough to know when the party's over. Okay, go on, Larry. Orkin, the best in pests.
My life is full of questions. Small, yellow, light, or dark. How do I fit in a leaf stain? Thankfully, has the answer to almost all of them.
Why do we even buy now?
Carry a tie. Do I need to cruise your guacamole? No, a tie. This is chocolate, right? Let's do this.
Tie? Yeah.
No matter who's doing it, on what cycle, or in what temperature, tie works. So I can focus on all the other questions. Does that have eyebrows?
For all of life's laundry questions, it's got to be Tide. Dear unbreakable spirit, when the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Oh, legend, Toyota trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Here comes Michael Harris, number 1 prospect of the Braves organization. He is from right here in the Atlanta area.
I grew up a Braves fan. First home game as a Brave, it was like a dream. And I still feel like I'm living in a dream right now. I know whenever I go out there, I got somebody behind me and somebody rooting for me, so I don't feel alone when I'm out on the field here.
Hot night here at Citii Field with the Mets on top, 6-1. Braves bullpen the rest of the way. It's still Plummer out there. Starts by facing Alonso. What are we going to do to celebrate the cooler temperatures tomorrow, partner?
I was thinking maybe like a really heavy jacket.
Yeah.
Might be a good way to do it.
Space heater.
Hoping we can turn the fans off. That would be nice.
We do have 19 fans up here. But somehow they're blowing hotter air than it feels like it's actually outside. Yeah, we're up here. It's a scorcher.
I put my fan nest down on the floor blowing up. I'm trying a different angle for this thing.
Sweeper from Bummer takes care of Pete Alonso. 1 away. Yeah, I'm not normally a fan of cold showers, but the last couple of nights, that's been the recipe. Jeff McNeil, a 2-hit night. A double last inning, now a single here in the 5th. thinking about the shape of the bullpen after a short start tonight by Fuentes. Remember, Schwellenbach went 7 a couple of nights ago, Strider 5 yesterday, and then the bullpen did great work in relief. You do have Austin Cox down there who can eat up some innings if need be for Atlanta.
He hasn't thrown for a couple of days. Bummer hasn't thrown for a few, so trying to get him through at least the inning plus here. Iglesias will be down today, I think, back-to-back days. Montero only threw 7, had a couple of days off before that.
Allen over to second for 1. And Marte, even though he's 36, he still runs pretty well, and he beats it out.
This would have been a pretty tough one to turn, especially for Nick Allen. As far back as he had to go to get this baseball, it's a nice pick, and he tried to make it happen, but just not enough time. You have a lot of choices when you're over at second base and how you want to turn a double play. You can come across the bag the way that Ozzie did there. Sometimes you're going to hold the bag and try to have a quick throw that way, but leave the throw took him a little bit that way, so he continued to go past the bag. So it's a little bit of a slower exchange.
Oh, that hit Mike Sarbaugh. He appears to be okay. Redirected off his foot.
It's kind of amazing because that one came in pretty hot, 99 off the bat.
You think he's feeling it? He's maybe playing cool? I don't care if that hit the bottom of your shoe. That's still, with that pace. Oh, there's another hard hit there. Out in the center field for Baker.
He has swung it well. This is against a sinker from Aaron Bummer at 91 miles an hour. It was a curveball last time, an 0-2 curveball where he got that base hit. But on the baseball pretty good here in this series.
They still have very high hopes for Brett Beatty, who they took 12th overall back in 2019. He's got a 2-hit night. Now there are 2 on with 2 out, and here's Mauricio. Mets have already pounded out 11 hits tonight.
Of course, you can tell here with Mauricio, we saw him hitting from the left side against the righties. He's not done particularly well from this side. It's only been 14 plate appearances for him, 13 at bat. He does not have a hit yet off the left.
Austin Riley fell down, but still able to make the play. And it's 6-1 through 5 innings here at Citii Field.
Do they think we're so dumb that we'll just fly into that bug zapper and die? And now this Orkin crowd? Ew. Let's go, besties. Sad.
Orkin, the best in pests. My kids can't hide anything from me.
I'm home.
Especially when they've been using toilet paper that doesn't hold up. Hold it, mister. Here's Charmin Ultra Strong. It cleans better. You can count on it.
Charmin Ultra Strong has a diamond sweet texture that's more durable, and it cleans better, so you can use less.
Ah, much better.
Hey, you passed the clean test and your mouth test.
Oh, yeah.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
Get the free to save. Get $4,250 cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, $2,250 in trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP.
The all-new Power Plus family from Indian Motorcycle. With distinctive American style
and a proven track record of innovation chiseled into every line. This is the power to roam.
This time our T-Mobile coverage cam, Drake Baldwin, his 9th home run of the season, comes on a pretty well-located slider, crushes it straight away center field over 430 feet. And for Drake and Sean, I talked to Snit about the way he's been maneuvering his catching. And for Snit, I asked him if he felt like he needed to put Sean back there with Fuentes going again tonight. Sean caught the first start down in Miami. And Snit said it really didn't cross his mind. He feels like he's factored in 2 things when it comes to catcher playing time. One, want to make sure neither guy gets too spent. And then 2, looking at the pitching matchups. You see Drake take advantage against the right-hander Holmes. Something to keep in mind this coming weekend. The Phillies slated to start a couple of the lefties, and Jesus Luzardo, Ranger Suarez there on Saturday and Sunday. And then there's the other factor, of course, the Braves will have a late night tomorrow. So those are kind of the factors that are dictating who starts behind the plate for the Braves on a given night.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. There's so many different things that go into it, and it's why we mentioned you got some lefties coming up. This is a grueling series, no 2 ways about it. Behind the plate, this guy's grinding right now in this heat. And so for Drake Baldwin, not happy with that call right there, but okay, they did call that call. Saw him react if they called that. You might have thought they called it a strike. But you got to think about all those things. And I think for a young player like Fuentes, you got to be able to use both catchers. Yeah, it's nice to have a veteran like Sean Murphy back there, and you certainly trust your Drake Baldwin.
What Baldwin has been providing with that bat, the homer in the 4th, such a spark for Atlanta offensively. And he's going to get a free pass here to begin the 6th inning.
You know, it's only been now 32 plate appearances against lefties, but Drake Baldwin's hitting .357 against lefties. You don't worry about him as much with the matchup because of his type of swing.
Here's Brandon Waddell. So 5th appearance of the season. They just recalled him today from AAA.
Not overpowering. His 4-seam fastball sits at 91. There's a slider, a changeup, 2-seamer, and a sweeper all in the mix.
And they used Waddell the first time that he was up in long relief. He threw 4 1/3 and 5 innings out of the bullpen back in April and May. But when he came up in early June, he threw 2 innings for 1/3 of an inning and 1 inning. So we'll see what they get from him tonight. Ozzie reaches for it and lifts it to Brandon Nimmo.
Well, no better way to endear yourself when you get called up than to walk a lefty when they bring you in. I don't know the idea of facing the lefty, and then, of course, the switch hitter Ozzie. A couple more lefties coming up right now. We go in there.